Well, hello, I am Laura Oblinger. I am the Director of Business Development and Client Services here in Northern Michigan for Raymond. And today I have the opportunity to have a conversation with Nikki Burgeson, principal with the firm, who is the Director of our Sales and Business Development for the firm. And as a reminder, part of the firm's effort to help each other learn from one another here at the firm, inspire each other, is that we've created these conversations, these video conversations amongst fellow coworkers to listen to the wisdom of successful leaders within the firm, and especially leaders that are female and have been juggling a lot of other things in life while progressing professionally. So at this point, I would like to welcome Nikki Burgeson into the conversation. Nikki, welcome.
Thank you so much, Laura. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Let's get this conversation started by telling us a bit about you, personally, professionally, and in the formal role that you have here with Raymond.
Sure, I'd be happy to. Well, as you said, I'm a principal. My job title is Director of Sales and Business Development. And so my role, it's a little bit unique here at Raymond. And I get to lead a very talented team of people like Laura, who are just absolute professionals and very good at what they do and bringing in new business to the firm. And I also get to spend time mentoring and coaching our associates. And then I get to work with the talented RCS executive team in supporting the firm from the sales business development perspective and working hand in hand with our growth team there.
That's a lot, Nikki. That is a lot to unpack. It's not just leading a team; it's leading multiple teams, and really responsible for growth within the firm, and really working with the people to get to that growth effort. So, tell me a little bit about what goes on in your life personally as well, because that integrates into your role professionally. And then I want to lead into how do you balance those two? So tell us about you personally.
Sure. Well, when I started with the firm about 11 years ago, I was the mother of 6-year-old triplets. And while I'm still the mother of triplets, they're 17 now. So you could imagine those years from first grade to now they're entering their senior year of high school. It's been quite the journey at home. And we talk a lot. Let's just jump right into balance because you're
Yeah.
probably one of the first things you think of when you hear about my personal life is how does she balance that? And I'm here to tell you, Laura, there's actually no such thing as balance, not perfect balance anyway. I think it's something that we're always striving to achieve, but we need to be realistic with our expectations. Some days we just need to get that work done. And we're going to spend more time working on our Raymond role than we are maybe our family role. And I think that balance is something that we can't take into small bites. We need to turn it into something bigger. So if I just look at yesterday, I'm going to feel very out of balance. Like, oh man, I didn't accomplish what I wanted to at home. But if you look at it over the long term, right? Look at what we just did in July. We had a week off. The firm shut down. Many of us took an extra week of PTO on top of that. And that's where that balance, I think, comes into play. And my family came first and foremost in July, right? Raymond has always been willing and happy to flex with me through my career. And that's really empowered me.
Yeah, that is really cool. A tip I can take away right away is don't focus on what didn't get done. Rather, you had said something about how you may not have had that perfect balanced day, but here's what you did get done, and that was productive. And then tomorrow you might make it up in a different way. And so to you, that's your balance, is not just half of my day is this and half of my day is that. It's looking at the productivity that you had within that day, and it all balances out in the end.
It does. And Laura, I would add, there's a third part to balance that we don't talk about enough. That third part of balance that I think is missing is what about yourself?
Yeah.
So I work really hard to be a great associate at Raymond, and I work really hard to be a wonderful mother to my children. But what about me?
Yeah.
And I think that that's even harder than trying to balance the work and the home life is carving out a little bit of time for yourself.
That's a great point. And do you think that you piece needs to be so overwhelming? I mean, it can be 15 minutes somewhere in your day, right? But as long as you're focusing on you. So as you've worked through that really powerful balance, you have grown with the firm. You didn't come in as a principal.
Right.
How did you know that you personally were ready to pursue another step? The principal title was not handed to you and is
No,
not handed to anybody. You have to work for it. So how do you know I want that?
great question, Laura. I think everybody comes to it in a different way, but I'm happy to share my story. And I had come into the firm as like a local geography business developer. I was a salesperson. That's what my career had been leading up to that
Right.
point. Sales, marketing, sales management. It's what I'd always done. And when I came to Raymond, I was able fairly early on to make somewhat of a name for myself. I was able to land some nice sized new business that kind of put my name in some people in front of some people that may not have known it before. So that was really exciting, and that was something that really kind of lit my fire.
Yeah.
It was so appreciated, and it was just a great time. Our then CEO, Steve Kelly, I'll never forget the day, Laura. He came into my office after I helped the firm land a really big client. Came into my office and he said, Nikki, I just wanted to say thank you. He said,
Oh,
that's the kind of client that we've always aspired to win here. And that's where we need to be. And I want to say thank you for helping us get there. I will never forget that day, right?
wow.
So if you're ever
Yeah.
asking yourself, should I give someone some kudos and should I do it personally? I think you should, because we don't forget
Mhm.
that kind of stuff when it happens. And so we had some shifts on our team at the time. We had a shift in leadership. And I think we need to remember that acting as a leader, you don't have to have the title to act as a
That's
leader, right?
so good. Yeah.
And it was just really obviously apparent, I think, that I was kind of leading the team without having the title. And
Yes.
we had an amazing team then, just like we do now. It was a different team then than the one we have now, except for me. And they were experienced. They were really good at what they did. And
Mhm.
so stepping into that leadership role with them, it was easy and it was very natural. And so when the time came that the firm said, we really need an official leader here. We need to do something a little bit different. And I was approached by our brand new CEO at that time, Randy Rupp. And he had said to me, Nikki, it's time. We need to do something like this. I heard your name brought up as an option for this, and I want you to think about that and get back to me. Let me know what you think about something like that. And I said, Randy, I don't need to get back with you. I said, because it's all I think about. And I said, I'm
Oh,
so honored that you came to me with this. And yeah, this is me throwing my hat in the ring. Please consider that a yes. He said, I have some more work to do, but let me get back to you. And here we are.
here we
So
are. You have an enormous amount of confidence in a very positive way. And did that come right away in your career? Did that come over time?
yeah, that's experience.
Yeah.
That's a good
Right.
question, Laura.
Right.
That's 100% experience. I think that we all have self-doubt in all parts of
Hmm.
our career. And I think that it lessens the more experienced you are. And I also think that getting encouragement from others, right, really helps with the confidence. Like I am doing things right. And now I've had
Yeah.
that kind of verified, right, with others who I look up to in the firm, whether that be a mentor, a boss, or somebody like that. But for me, that kind of recognition and that kind of affirmation
Yeah.
is what's made me more confident, that
Yeah.
it's okay. And if you're having a reaction to what I'm saying and you might not like it or it makes you uncomfortable, I've seen that many, many times before, and I know how to handle it
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So the confidence is through the roof, and I think that confidence is a key,
Yeah,
right?
it is. Finally, talk to us about a mentor in your life. Did you have one? Did it help? And is that meant, if so, is that mentor relationship forced or did it kind of just naturally fall into your life?
It's a great question. We have several formal mentor programs at Raymond. I've had formal leaders through some of those programs that have
Mhm.
changed my life, but I've had a lot of informal mentors. And I encourage everybody to develop those as well. And those are people who maybe someone I look up to in my office. And I also find a lot of value in getting mentorship outside your comfort zone. So maybe not someone in your office, maybe not someone in your department, right? Maybe someone not even in the same state that you're in. I think
Interesting.
that type of mentorship stretches you and challenges you in a very important way, so that you're kind of peeking your head up and you're looking at the bigger picture in the firm and you're seeing how others can give you help and advice from very far away, from a total different
Yeah.
department.
Outstanding feedback. There's a reason we asked to be able to interview you in this conversation, and it's clear that you've progressed personally and professionally and ultimately as a human being. I think the firm is really blessed to have you a part of it. Any final parting words, Nikki?
Well, thank you so much, Laura. I would just say, um, the world is your oyster here at Raymond, people, right? Nobody holds you back. If you have something that you're good at and you're interested in, and you embrace that entrepreneurial spirit while doing it, go for it.
This is fantastic. We're really grateful to have you a part of this conversation. Grateful to have you a part of the firm. Thank you, Nikki, for all you do.